Ascended Heroes has now been announced for Pokemon. What does this mean for the market moving forward? Folks, I'm going to give you a warning now. I'm not going to be sitting here talking about each individual cards. I think enough people have done that, and they've done a good job doing that. I'm focused more on the market. What is going to hold us off? Is it Phantasmal Flames all the way to 2026? These are the thoughts that go through my mind. You know, what can we take advantage of? What kind of deals are coming up? What kind of sales are coming up? So if you've got something to do, please do it and just put us on in the background. Well, first things first, Rudy just made a video yesterday talking about a full-on bear market, and it was not clickbait. Now, this actually has to deal with Magic the Gathering. And so, yes, you might be thinking, well, Magic and Pokemon are two completely different things. Sure, you can argue that. But don't forget now, Rudy was also the person the day before the market crash, or whatever you want to call it, correction happened, also gave out that warning. So when he gives you an update every so often about what he thinks is going to happen, I'm not saying it's actually going to happen, but it's at least worth considering. So I think Ascended Heroes has been pretty well received. I would say it's a pretty good looking set. There's definitely a lot of pros with it. There's a couple cons here and there. Some of the things that are really interesting about it is the size of it. I mean, it's similar to Prismatic Evolutions, obviously not the Pokemon, but the size of it, maybe even the rarity of it. I don't think we know quite enough about the pull rates just yet. But simply Q1, really more into Q2, is seeing like we're going to have a lot to look forward to. There's going to be tons of packs, but it's going to be very, very difficult to get packs for Ascended Heroes. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. It's probably Thanksgiving. But what is going to hold us from that Thanksgiving time all the way to February, essentially? And it doesn't look good for anything. It just simply doesn't. Like I said before, I mean, unless something happens with interest rates, unless the stocks and the crypto world boom, there's really nothing to look forward to in between. So I've been thinking like, well, I don't want my store to be completely dead all the way till February. You know what I'm saying? And you can only cut the prices so low before you make $0. That's obviously not a good decision. So what's something else we could do? We could pick up Dream. So I did order 2 cases. That's going to be about 40 booster boxes of Japanese. So it's going to be Dream. It's basically Ascended Heroes. And if it sells on my store, awesome. If it doesn't, it is what it is, but I'm going to give it a shot because there's literally nothing coming out December. There's nothing coming out January. And sure, the end of January on the 30th, you get like a 2 or 3 pack sticker. Big whoop. Like that's not a big deal or anything. I mean, I don't think people are going to be too excited about that because there's nothing for you to get if that's all that's coming out from distro. Now, PokeNE has also commented on this subject. I've also seen Nostalgianomics, Team Rocket Joey, lots of other people. But the people that I'm the most focused on for this particular subject are the ones that have distribution or are in the know, if you will say, like you're a non-TCGs. Again, Rudy, right? Like Alpha Investments. So if you listen to each one of them, they all have a little bit different message, at least from what I've understood. Rudy is saying we're going on a full-on panic for Magic, but then Q1, things are just going to be phenomenal. I mean, this is the time. You should go all in. Not fast, though. That's the thing, but you should really take advantage of this. I believe he said this is where the riches are made. Something like that. I'm kind of paraphrasing. Maybe I simply haven't been bullish enough. That's very possible that I haven't been bullish enough because I always don't want my viewers to get burnt. But what if you get burnt in a different way where you had no action, right? So at the end of the day, you got to take the responsibility on your own. It's not mine or any other YouTuber's responsibility for you, but you should at least consider what people have to say. Never blindly do what they say, but at least consider it. As someone who's watched Rudy for about 8 or 9 years now, I've seen this before, folks. I've seen him talk about these cycles. I've seen him talk about how no one's going to take the action when the opportunity is there. And I think to myself, wait a minute, you know, I've been saying, yeah, we got a little bit of time. I'm going to buy smarter. I'm going to buy things that are heavily discounted. Yes, I've been saying those, but am I buying enough of it? I just picked these booster boxes up for Stellar Crown. Now, is this an amazing set? Absolutely not. I don't even like Stellar Crown. However, for the price, I got them cheap enough to where I could list them on my site for $20 or $25 under market. And that's what I'm talking about when I say I'm looking for deals. You know, where can you look around in a downturn like this? You could look at like Destined Rivals, which I know Team Rocket Joey is a huge fan of, and a lot of other people. I am also a fan of that, but that's pretty much at all-time highs or nearing all-time highs. So for me, it's like, God, is it a screaming deal? You know what I mean? Do I see this going up further? Absolutely. I don't see any way that's going to stay close to $400 a box. And so that's more of like the quality over the quantity argument. It's really hard to say. Let me know what kind of person you are, quality or quantity. see in the comment section below. I'm definitely torn on that, and I've considered Destined Rivals. The cool thing is we're about to have a TCG 10% rebate, so you get 10% back. So with 10% off, that does take it down about $38 or $40, give or take. That's pretty interesting at that point, because now we're talking like $340 range, and I'm like, that's closer to $300. It's not a screaming deal, not at all, right? But if this huge bull run is coming, I mean, dude, it could be fantastic. There's just noise everywhere, right? Noise everywhere. Ascended Heroes. Phantasmal Flame's great. Phantasmal Flame sucks. Charizard's amazing. Then 3 days later, he's not amazing. Noise, noise, noise. How is this going to really affect the market? Simply, it's just going to continue to be slow up until that point, up until Ascended Heroes does come out. The Gengar, I think, is a pretty good looking Gengar. You know, to me, it is definitely not a Fusion Strikes Gengar. There's also some older Gengars that are way cooler than this one. It's a good set, right? The Dragonite, I mean, I'm not a fan of Dragonite. I'm not going to lie to you. It looked kind of cool, not going to lie, but it wasn't like, whoa, for me. I mean, it definitely wasn't like Umbreon level or something, but hey, there are a lot of Pokemon fans out there. And here's the interesting thing. If you missed the Pokemon Center, what was it, just yesterday? Dude, anybody could have got the booster bundle. It looked like there was no limit at all. Like they literally let you order for 2.5 hours. It didn't matter. I saw some people that made like 4 stupid emails and they got 4 packs for each, so 16 just for themselves. It was basically, if you logged in and you got in, which was stupid easy, especially the last 30 minutes, you could order it. They're going to print it for you all the way in April. And it looks like there will be a good amount of supply for this towards the end or maybe the middle of April. So that has me thinking there's a lot of ways to take this information. One, is there going to be a ton of product? Well, definitely not initially, right? Because the ETBs aren't coming out till mid-February or so. I think PokeNE confirmed that. I know a non-TCG's been preaching this for a very, very long time. Lots of other people with more established distro accounts have as well. So it would be surprising if there was a ton of product, at least initially. Of course, we don't know what Big Box is going to get. I know PokeNE said that he doesn't think there's going to be any advantage from, you know, Walmart, Target, and Costco and all these guys instead of distribution. Instead, we were incorrect in thinking that, and the release date is the release date. Hey, touche, you know what? He would definitely know more than I would. If I'm wrong on that subject. I mean, this drop, I saw more people get ETBs than I've ever seen any other time from the Pokemon Center. Basically, like I said, same thing with booster bundles. If you wanted it, they essentially let you take the order. You had almost 3 hours for the ETB as well. And so, yeah, it looks like there's going to be a huge, huge supply. My theory, which could be completely incorrect, but I've been thinking from a stock perspective, when you're looking at your earnings and you say, wow, 2025 was the best year we've ever had. The boardmen are sitting there and they're looking at how are we going to repeat that success? Do you think that they want to make less money in 2026? I can tell you they certainly do not want to lose out on that. They're going to say, wow, record sales on a quarterly basis and an annual basis. Well, guess what? 2026, we need the next Prismatic. We need to find the next Prismatic. Is Ascended Heroes going to be that? I don't know. I really genuinely have no idea if it will. Obviously, a couple of EVs and Evolutions did fantastic. Can they mimic that again, throwing in Gengar, throwing in Dragonite, throwing in, oh my God, there's so much stuff in this new set. Some of the stuff like the Pikachu was okay, I guess. It wasn't bad. Some people love it, some people don't, but there's a lot more substance in this. Arguably, if we have very difficult pull rates for the SIRs, I mean, that's going to really help keep it going. That's going to keep it alive for those 3 months. And then this could be the next money printer. The thing is with Prismatic Evolution, it is such a hit. And so many people love Prismatic Evolution that even when you print it to the fucking ground, and I'm not even kidding, literally just print and print and print and put it in Costco, and you put it in Sam's, and you put it at all the Targets and Walmarts, and you give it to distro, and you just pump and pump and pump. It goes down, and in a month or two, boom, bounces back up almost to, you know, that 130, 140 range every single time. It's so resilient. Prismatic is so resilient, but they know at some point it's not a forever thing. Can Ascended Heroes, which at that time will be about a year later, right? About a year later, will Pokemon finally be able to take their foot off the gas pedal? Because they've just really been putting it everywhere. Even Lowe's is trying to get Prismatic. It's stupid at this point how much Prismatic is being printed and also open. Does Ascended Heroes have the perfect storm to replace Prismatic Evolutions? When I think about it, it's very possible, man. It really is. Why did they not put this in replacement of Phantasmal Flames? That is is something that I think about all the time. If you knew you were going to have 3 months of really nothing, there's so many conspiracies on my mind on it, and I've heard really valid points going in both ways, but it kind of makes sense in a way. Maybe 2025 was so freaking amazing, which obviously it was for them, that now they took their foot off the gas just a little bit, but they're still making killer money at Walmart's with all these 25, I think some of them are $17 for like 8 packs or something. It's ridiculous the amount of Pokemon that they're selling, right? The Journey Togethers and the Twilight, and I think there were some Obsidian Flames in there. And so yes, this will help them sell all those ancillary products that maybe you don't necessarily want, but if you put them for cheap enough, everybody's gonna want them at some point. What we have learned throughout 2025 is there's no such thing as a bad Pokemon product. Even if you consider it bad, guess what? It sells out every single time. So if you lower the price enough, it simply will sell. It's really that simple. Not able to sell Twilight Masquerade for 70 bucks? Drop it $5 and watch that sucker fly off, right? Rudy mentioned this in his video yesterday, that people will do anything to save $1.58 or $2.10. And let's not even talk about the UPC failure from GameStop. Little Timmies like myself are literally selling this for $170. Of course, you have to pay for shipping. I can't give you shipping for free. Like, how could I? It's just such a big item and heavy. But $170 on GameStop is charging $200. I went over there today just to check, just to see, because you see it on Instagram, you see it on Twitter, you see it everywhere, that they're still sitting there. Hell, all the YouTubers are still talking about it. I went over there and guess what? They probably had like 9 or 10 at my GameStop. That's crazy. My GameStop is always sold out within at least an hour or two. Even something expensive like for $200. Nope. And I talked to the guy, and he's a cool dude. I'm not going to say his name. And I was like, bro, you still got Pokemon? He's like, you want to buy it? You want to buy the UPC? I said, no, I don't. Not for $200. No. He said, but it's really like $190. You're a pro member, right? I was like, yeah, bro. You know I'm a pro member. I said, bro, I could get it cheaper on the market. He's like, yeah, I know. He's like, dude, honestly, we had to give away like 20 of these because we can't sell them. And then all the GameStops are trying to give it to the other GameStop. Oh, you sold yours? You sold 10? Well, can you please take these, right? Like upper management's like, you guys got to take these, man. Nobody's buying them for $200. Now, the obvious answer would be drop your price, stupid. No. That's off the table. We ain't dropping nothing. We're making maximum value. We're going to let the scalpers outdo us. The small business owners like DJ be significantly cheaper than dealing with these people. But no. We ain't giving nobody a deal. Keep it at $200. We'll sell it eventually. And that is very true. They will sell it eventually. I don't know when. You know, Rudy really had me thinking, as he always does. I love hearing the people that are in the know. I really do, because they just keep my mind leveled. Listen, there's a million people out there talking about Ascended Heroes, talking about Phantasmal Flames, talking about the Pokemon market and how it's all collapsing and MSRP is finally here. Hold the line, guys. Stay strong. And then you hear Rudy's opinion and he just gets you back on track, you know? When you start to lose a little bit of hope and you're like, I'm going to get greedier. I'm going to wait till it drops a little bit more. I'm going to look for the best deal. Someone like Rudy comes around and he talks to someone who cares about the market, who's been following him for a while, like myself, and he gets you going in the right direction. And the right direction is I need to buy more Pokemon. I know it. I got to take it back. I know like 3 days ago, I said I'm selectively buying, and I still am being selective, but I think I need to put my foot on the gas a little bit more than I was. Again, not just going crazy all out balls deep, but I definitely need to pick up more. I have finally pulled the trigger on 100 Phantasmal Flames ETBs. I told you guys about that the other day. I was considering it. Well, I did it. Is Phantasmal Flames the best set in the world? I don't think it is at the moment. Here's the thing. I got it so cheap that I can put it on my store for like 76 bucks, 77 bucks, and then still make profit, okay? When I factored in the risk, I'm in it for 70 bucks a pop. That was shipped, by the way, guys. That's how desperate people are right now to sell their Pokemon. I got them for 70 bucks. I had to buy 100 though, to be fair. Otherwise, it would have been like 77 or something. But what's going to happen, guys? It goes from 70 to 65. Oh no. Oh my God. Let's say it goes to 60 bucks. Okay, goes from 70 to 60. Is it the end of the world? No. I don't care if you buy them. I would like you to buy them on the store, but if you don't, guess what? I'm sitting pretty, because next bull run, we're good to go. We don't even need the next bull run. We just need the next tick up. And then all of a sudden the Timmies come out. You give Timmies a screaming deal and they don't take it. They don't want it. Oh, it's down in price? Oh, no, not interested, right? That's what a lot of people are thinking right now. You know, it's really interesting because it feels like there's no urgency in the market right now. I mean, it is dead. It is quite literally dead. Views are down. I've noticed almost everybody else's views are down. I know mine are down for sure. That's also partially my fault for not making as many videos because I've been busy with the store, but it is what it is on that. But the amount of people that are like parading together and just saying like, guys, hold the line, man, hold the line. It's going to go down more and more. And yeah, for sure, it definitely could come down throughout December. Absolutely. That's definitely what I expect. And most people do probably think that. But the problem is that you think it goes beyond December. You think like January is going to be just as bad. And maybe it will. I don't know. But there's never the point where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna buy finally. I'm gonna look around for that booster box I always wanted. I'm gonna get that Pokemon Center. I'm gonna get that regular ETB that I always wanted. There's just no urgency in the market. And so when I see 9 out of 10 people having no urgency, and then I become like the minority of it, you know what this reminds me of? When I was an early Tesla investor. I believed in Tesla since 2016, before they were about to go bankrupt, and nobody believed in EVs. And Nvidia, nobody believed in Nvidia. I believed in both of them, and I put every freaking penny I had into Tesla and into Nvidia back in 2016 and 2017. That's what I did. And I turned $27,000 into over $500,000. I mean, it was crazy to see. Everybody around me was negative. Every person told me Bitcoin was going to zero. I did the same thing with Bitcoin, man. I've been doing that forever with Bitcoin. Everybody keeps talking about the doom and gloom and how it's all going to zero. Just wait. And so then when I come into the Pokemon sector, it's not exactly the same. Obviously, the words and the items are a little bit different, but the same mentality is what I'm feeling. I feel like I'm the lone wolf. I'm kind of sitting there, really put my money where my mouth is, buying up, again, not too crazy, but buying up fairly aggressive. And everybody around me is not buying anything. And so they're just sitting here waiting for this fantasy MSRP thing to show up and hit them right in the face. I don't even think these people would buy if everything went to MSRP right now. Because at that point, when they finally got what they've always wanted, this dream MSRP thing, they would say, you know what? No, dude, now booster box is going to go to 120. No, I'm going to wait till $100. And you're just going to keep hearing this. And the same thing happens over and over, cycle after cycle. Rinse and repeat. In the short term, guys, I have no idea what's going to happen. It doesn't matter what market you talk about. In the long term, it's the same thing that always happens, guys. The shit's going to go up. Let's talk about something like this. This is a product that I bought pretty early. I sold it at first for like 20, 30 bucks under market. I sold about 2 cases of those, and then I'm stuck with 1 sealed case and a couple open ones. You could take that as, you're an idiot, man. You're stuck with the Mega Evolutions base set Lucaria figure collection. But I'm looking at it like, dang, I made my money back for the most part, almost anyways. Now I'm sitting free on a sealed case of it, and I got a couple extras. Don't buy it. That's the attitude I'm having on it. Okay, don't buy it. As long as I saw a couple of them, get most of the money back, it's okay, dude. Still sitting pretty, because at any moment, this thing is going to turn around, and the people with the product, the people with the inventory are going to be the ones that profit off it. It's not going to be the people sitting there hoping and dreaming on this fantasy MSRP thing. Again, it could happen. Who freaking knows? But those aren't going to be the people that change their life. Those aren't going to be people that make any money. Those aren't going to be the people that expand their collection. Those are probably going to be the people that just keep waiting for something that's never going to happen. And at the end of the day, maybe next cycle they'll try to do better. All in all, guys, the market is going to market. Ascended Heroes, I think it's going to be a good set. As far as the inside scoop, I don't know. I just have opinions like everybody else, just like assholes, right? Everybody has one. If you made it to the end of the video, put in hashtag Stellar Crown. Laugh at me all you want, guys. Laugh at me. I'm starting to look at a lot of these things that people are not interested in. Like my friend Retro Mike, he's talking about Shrouded Fable. Been looking into those a little bit more. I'm looking at a lot of the stuff that's dirt cheap, and I'm thinking, could this go down another 10, 15%? If it does, oh baby, I'm picking up a lot of Scarlet and Violet stuff. The stuff that's not super desirable, but that's basically at MSRP already. Oh yeah, I'm looking to pick up some more cases. Definitely let me know what you're doing throughout these markets, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. DJ's Poke Center, signing out.